So now that we're well into the Sagittarius season, I thought I'd have a chat about that pair. So Sagittarius is opposite Gemini, and in my experience and with clients, what I've found is that the energy flip-flops between the two. And I'm sure that if you're either Gemini or Sagittarius, or you've got it anywhere in your chart in particular, particularly if it's your ascendant or your moon, then you will recognize this flip-flop of energy quite easily. So the problem with this flip-flop is that it causes lots of instability and can cause issues regarding hastiness. So the Gemini energy really dislikes uncertainty and indecision, but the nature of the energy is that it always tends to weigh things up. Shall I do this? Shall I do that? And it's a bit of a grasshopper mind. It's flitting around all over the place. And so then what happens is that it feels so uncomfortable with the uncertainty that it will flip them from the Gemini into Sagittarius energy, which is then more about hastiness, impatience. So it just wants a quick decision. So once it's there, once that energy has flipped, then what will happen is that there will be a quick decision. However, what can happen is that because the decision is made just to get away from the uncertainty and the indecision, it's not a good decision. So that next time it comes round, then you've even then got more trouble because you've got this voice on your shoulder saying, remember the last time this went wrong. So then it makes you even more hesitant, which isn't very helpful, of course. So then with being hesitant, it builds, and then guess what? It flips into Sagittarius again. Quick decision made, can't stand the uncertainty, just do it, let's get on with it. And then you only to possibly then regret it and think, I just wish I'd waited a bit, I was more patient. And yeah, so that's what can happen. Sometimes it's quite good, you know, if you're uncertain about something, you can make a quick decision, you move on. But often what happens is this sort of negative cycle that goes round and round. And is not really very helpful. So what happens is when you take the remedies for both of these energies, so for instance with the Gemini energy, I would use scleranthus, which helps with indecision and uncertainty, funnily enough. And then on the other side, you would use impatiens, no guessing what that's for. And so together, what would happen is when you take these remedies, you do feel more balanced. You can live with the uncertainty. And so what happens is that you make a good decision at the right time. So that's the balance and the positive potential of the Gemini and Sagittarius energy, which obviously is much more helpful than all the big sort of swings from one thing to the other and the crashing around and then the regrets and the despondency and the feeling dissatisfied and then beating yourself up or just feeling uncomfortable and not really wanting to put yourself in those sort of positions. So yeah, well, it definitely works. It definitely helps. And many people, hundreds of people I've spoken to over the years, do recognise that pattern. So look for it. I mean, in my chart, I have a Gemini ascendant and I have a Sagittarius moon. So I've got like a double dose of this. So that can be quite tricky. But what I've also found, to be honest, actually, is that these days we have a lot of terms now used for challenges that we have, for instance ADHD, and I actually find that these remedies are really handy for something like ADHD, in that it helps with that uncertainty and decision. It helps with the hastiness and the impatience. Also, there are other remedies as well, like clematis, which helps with the daydreaming or the lack of focus, that kind of thing. Also chestnut bud for learning from our mistakes and understanding how we can respond in a different way. So there are lots of remedies actually that can help with these things, and I just find that taking them myself, they're just so much better. They work. They're very subtle, but definitely you kind of just get this sense of something just feels a lot better. And yeah, so, and they're not expensive, and you haven't got to wait for to see a doctor, and you haven't got to spend lots of money on a diagnosis. Just try them out and see if they help you. I mean, obviously in some cases it's really quite severe, so you know, carry on with your route of what you want to do, but to be honest, it's worth a try for these kind of things. And if you've got any questions about any other situations where commonly we use phrases to describe either mild mental health conditions or challenges that we have, if you want any help with suggestions for remedies just to try, because you're just frustrated and at your wit's end really sometimes, just ask away, because it's worth a try. So anyway, I hope you're all cozy. It's coming up to coming home time, so hope you get home safely, and yeah, just snuggle in for the night. And it's good to talk again, and please get in touch if you would like a consultation or you'd like to find out more. So thanks for listening.